Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Modern Quantity Surveyor Key Skills to Have. So we will look into the competencies about the cost planning at the briefing stage. At this stage, you need to know how to set cost targets and identify the client's needs. So cost planning at the briefing stage, we need to look into what are the cost targets for the profit, social or public sector development, private user and mixed development, as well as the client's needs, which is TCQ, time, cost and quality. So what is cost planning? If you watch my previous lecture, we discussed what is cost planning. So just to refresh again, cost planning is a key due diligence step in preparing for a construction project. Cost planning tells a property owner how much a proposed project will cost. So what is cost planning? Again, cost planning will tell when the expected expenses will most likely occur, which is essential for financing and profitability. Cost planning determines the fiscal feasibility of a construction project within budget. So without cost planning, property owners would blindly enter into construction projects and possibly into insolvency. Usually the cost plans are prepared by quantity surveyors. They evolve through the life of the project, developing in detail and accuracy as more information becomes available about the nature of the design, and then actual prices are provided by specialist contractors and suppliers. Let's look what happens if the cost planning goes wrong. This is a case study of Sydney Opera House. The estimated cost was around $7 million, and actually it turned out to be $102 million. Why? Because there were no established methods to construct the complex roof structure. As a result, significant delays occurred. The government changed the original scope, increasing the number of theatres from 2 to 4. Major revisions to the interior design led to further delays. A lack of effective project management at any phase, compounded by the Sydney Opera House Executive Committee's oversight. And that's why a Danish economic geographer, he famously called it as the worst case of mega project planning, accusing the project leaders of deliberately underestimating the costs. The second case study is about the Channel Tunnel, estimated to be 4,800 million pounds, and the actual cost went to almost 11,000 million pounds. Why? From the outset, construction was plagued by delays, leading to a rapid rise in costs. Both the French and British governments imposed additional safety measures, which not only delayed the project but also significantly reduced its financial viability. Prolonged periods of high interest rates during construction, rising from 3% at the beginning to 10% for most of the project, further exacerbated the cost overruns. The third case study is about the Wembley Stadium, which was estimated to 200 million pounds and again reached to a cost of 827 million pounds. Why? Delays and disputes plagued the project, including legal battles over liquidated damages between investors and the contractor Multiplex. The iconic steel arch, a critical feature of the stadium, presented unique challenges. Its unprecedented design made it difficult to estimate costs and timelines accurately. Further delays occurred when Multiplex claimed that Mott MacDonald's design was inadequate, adding to the overall complications. So now let's look at the cost targets for profit development. Now, setting cost targets for profit growth in real estate involves balancing building cost with land expenses, fees and environmental factors, while building quality and location affect potential rent or sale prices. If you build in unsuitable areas, This will misalign with the financial goals as profit-driven development is time-sensitive. Time is money. Early project completion boosts profits through early occupancy or partial use, while delays like missing pre-Christmas deadlines risk substantial losses. Now in profit-driven development, the sole aim is quantifiable profit. If profits aren't anticipated, the project won't proceed. Accurate cost predictions are crucial and any variances must be balanced to ensure profitability. If the expected profit is not made, the project will be a failure from the client's point of view. However pleasant or useful the resulting development may be. Now, setting cost targets for social or public sector development. The public sector projects, they prioritize providing necessary buildings over profit, with cost limits influenced by national budget allocations rather than individual project feasibility, though securing additional funds is sometimes politically challenging. Public sector building costs are often set using benchmark from similar projects, with ministries establishing user-based targets such as student places or hospital beds, while allowing exceptions for unique technical challenges. In social development or public sector development, costs don't really clearly measure project effectiveness. Benefits of institutions like hospitals or schools are often unquantifiable, making effective fund allocation dependent on political decisions rather than strict cost planning. Also, in social projects, rigid financial rules applies, including no fund transfers, spending limits within fiscal years, mandatory competitive tendering with fixed prices, and ignoring certain financial considerations beyond contract value. Cost planning sometimes exploits regulatory loopholes similar to how an accountant navigates tax laws. For example, in one country, a cost control loophole allowed more budget for balconies than needed, resulting in buildings with excessive, unnecessary balconies in that era. Now, the cost targets for private user development. This applies to projects like building a private home or an office for an insurance company's use. This type of development combines elements from both profit-driven and social projects. Therefore, it's crucial to understand and clearly define the client's actual cost priorities. Now, the cost targets for mixed development involve a blend of profit-driven and social projects, possibly including user development as well. In this case, part of the cost for some buildings may be covered by social funding, while the remainder aims to generate profit. A typical example is a town center development that includes shops and public amenities. As with private user development, understanding the client's priorities is essential. So, since it is important to understand the client's needs at the cost planning stage, we need to examine these needs closely. Now let's look at the three main factors: time, cost, and quality. So when the client talks about the needs for the time requirements, it could be any of one of those. For example, no critical time requirements. Usually this is common for social developments. Second, shortest overall time. This is simply if they are interested in profit. Shortest contract period from builder appointment. That is the quickest builder contract period. Shortest contract period from construction start. This is after the construction delays or preparations. Early start on site. This is to secure grants or show progress illusion. Sometimes reliable guaranteed completion date from contractor. This is for the client's future planning. Firm completion date stated by the client. This is maybe for specific events and opening the hotel during the summer season, for example. Early completion unwelcome. This could cause unnecessary cost for the clients, such as operation and maintenance. Phase program to fit in with plant installation. This could be for complex plant installation projects like chemical plants. Handing over in sections. This is crucial for renovation or rebuilding projects. The next is about the cost requirements. Now, there could be no critical cost requirements from the client, and this is usually very rare, of course, and it only applies maybe to quality focused developments like TV transmission systems. Then, low total cost of whole project, this is usually prioritized over other criteria. Low whole life cycle cost, this is usually for public sector compliance. Low cost in relation to units of accommodation, also typically for profit driven social projects. Good budgetary control of the project, like client desires final cost to align with the initial estimates. Good forecast of cost at contractual commitment, clients require accurate cost estimates before financial commitments. Best combination of capital and maintenance costs, usually client wants a balance between both of these costs. Low capital cost, this is usually if the client wants to sell the building. Low cost of building contract, that is a minimized lump sum building cost, especially in public projects. Low maintenance cost, this is less common but for minimizing operational disruptions. Timing of cash flow, clients optimize costs based on cash flow timing. Minimum capital commitment, this is usually for the contractor cost coverage is required until the building is completed. Share in risk of development, contractor is compensated by sharing profits in the development risk. Lastly, the client's needs is about the quality. There could be no critical quality requirements, especially if it's a basic functional structure like factory, bus shelter, depots, etc. High quality requirements, especially for large corporations, headquarters, hospitals, they usually demand top tier quality and craftsmanship. Medium quality requirements, most of the buildings fall in this category, requiring workmanship adjusted to client specifications. And lastly, multiple quality requirements. This could be again based on the client's need over standard solutions. So, when you talk about cost planning, this quote comes to mind. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower, won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? That's all, my friend. Please learn at least one competency a week. So are you ready? Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel, Modern Quantity Surveyor. Enjoy.